Have you ever felt like men and women fall in love in completely different ways? That is not just in your head. Biologically, they actually do. When it comes to love and sex, hormones are running the show behind the scenes. Research suggests that women are more likely to fall in love during orgasm, while men are more likely to fall in love when they think about having sex. For many women, feelings deepen in the most intimate moments. For many men, those feelings can start intensifying even before anything happens. This is not random. It is an evolutionary mechanism designed to keep both partners loyal. Why would evolution care so much about loyalty? Because human babies are incredibly dependent. They benefit massively from having both parents around for protection, resources, and emotional support. So once again, it all comes back to procreation and survival. This idea fits perfectly with Helen Fisher's research, where she explains that falling in love can be separated into 3 core stages: lust, attraction, and attachment. At the end, there is also a hidden 4th stage almost no one talks about. Let us start with stage 1. Stage 1. Lust, the initial spark. Lust is the raw, physical drive, the part of you that is focused on desire. For men, lust is strongly linked to testosterone. For women, it is more connected to estrogen. Here's the key difference. Men follow a daily hormonal cycle. Testosterone rises during sleep and peaks right after waking up. Women follow a monthly hormonal cycle. Estrogen peaks right before ovulation, the days when they are most fertile. In simple terms, men tend to feel more lust every day, especially in the morning, while women feel extra desire for a few days each month around ovulation. That does not mean women do not feel desire outside their fertile window. They do, just not as constantly as men on average. Now combine this with modern dating. A study from the dating app OkCupid found that women rate the majority of men as below average, while men rate the majority of women as average. So women are much more selective, and there is a reason for that. Back in 1972, researchers discovered a basic rule in biology. The sex that invests more in reproduction becomes more selective. Throughout history, women faced higher risks, such as unwanted pregnancies, health complications, and abandonment, which could leave them raising a child alone. So evolution shaped women to be more cautious and more careful about who they choose. This leads to a big question. How can a man make a specific woman feel more lustful toward him without manipulation, just by understanding biology and behavior? We can break it into 3 areas you can actually work on. First, scent, the invisible trigger. Most senses like sight and hearing pass through a relay station in the brain before they are processed. Smell is different. Scent connects directly to the brain's emotional center. That is why one smell can instantly bring back a memory or a person. You can use this to your advantage. Apply fragrance to your pulse points, such as your neck, wrists, and behind the ears, but keep it subtle. The goal is for your scent to be noticeable only within an intimate zone of about 45 centimeters or less. This creates a kind of reward loop. She has to be close to smell it, and being close feels good, so she naturally wants to stay closer. Second, your face and finding the beard's sweet spot. In 2013, researchers from the University of New South Wales tested what kind of facial hair women find most attractive. They showed women photos of men who were clean-shaven, with light stubble, heavy stubble, a light beard, and a full beard. They found that the most attractive look was heavy stubble. It was long enough to signal maturity and masculinity, but short enough to avoid looking overly aggressive. The least attractive look was light stubble. So if you are experimenting with your look, a well-kept heavy stubble might be the sweet spot between boyish and intimidating. Third, your overall appearance, including shape, skin, and hair. Physical attraction is not everything, but it does open the door. We already know that a V-shaped torso, healthy-looking skin, and well-kept hair all increase how attractive you appear. There is also a fun detail from research. Women tend to see men in red clothing as more sexually desirable. You do not need a full red wardrobe, but a well-fitted red shirt or sweater might be doing more work for you than you think. Stage 2. Attraction. When feelings deepen. Once lust gets things started, attraction decides whether things actually move forward. This stage is less about how you look and more about how you behave and how you make her feel. A study from 2022 looked at love languages, the ways people most want to receive love. It found that men generally desire more physical touch, while women generally desire more quality time. But the love language you crave is not always the one you naturally give. The same study showed that men tend to give more touch and acts of service, while women tend to give more of the other love languages, especially time spent together. This fits with another difference. On average, women think about their partner about 54% of the time, while men do it around 44% of the time. So women often mentally live in the relationship a bit more. But here is the catch. Spending more time together does not automatically make the relationship better. This is where Dr. John Gottman comes in, a researcher known for being able to predict divorce with about 90% accuracy just by watching a couple interact. One of his most important findings is the 5-to-1 rule. Stable relationships tend to have about 5 positive interactions for every 1 negative interaction. Why so many positives? Because of negativity bias. Our brains remember negative experiences 3 to 5 times more strongly than positive ones. One criticism can outweigh several compliments. So the goal is not just more time. The goal is more meaningful, positive moments inside that time. How do you create those? One way is through a shared reality. The feeling of you and me against the world. Couples who share inside jokes, phrases, or a private language tend to bond faster. You can build this by turning shared experiences into inside jokes and giving her playful, personal nicknames based on her quirks or behavior. It is better to avoid generic names that anyone could use. The more specific it is to her, the more it feels like your own little world. Another way is through variable reward, keeping things fresh. Brain scans show that your reward system activates more when the outcome is unpredictable. That is one reason social media feels so addictive. You never know exactly when the next dopamine hit is coming. In relationships, this does not mean playing games. It simply means you are not totally predictable all the time. From time to time, you can do something unexpected, such as a surprise date, a random thoughtful gesture, or a spontaneous message or call. Small, unpredictable positives keep the connection feeling alive and exciting. Humor also plays a big role. Women tend to like men who can make them laugh. Men care less about whether a woman is funny and more about whether she laughs at their jokes. So, humor is not just nice to have. It is a bonding tool. Shared laughter creates an instant positive interaction. It lowers defenses, eases tension, and creates memories you both want to repeat. Stage 3. Attachment. The long-term bond. Now we are in the long game. Attachment. Psychologists say that based on how your parents treated you growing up, you develop one of several attachment styles. These shape how you handle closeness, conflict, and commitment. Even though attachment styles are psychological, biology still plays a big role in how they show up in relationships. One powerful pattern is the pursue-withdraw cycle. It works like this. One partner starts to withdraw or become distant. The other partner senses this and starts to pursue, calling more, texting more, and pushing for closeness. The first partner feels suffocated and pulls away even more. The second partner, now anxious, pursues even harder. Over time, this can solidify into one partner becoming more avoidant and the other becoming more anxiously attached.